The History of Raven Rock, Volume 3, by Liren Taleno. Forward. Raven Rock is one of the more interesting colonies of Morrowind of the last 2 centuries. So much has happened to this tiny town in such a short amount of time, and so many lives have been affected by it, I felt it necessary to describe its rich history within these volumes. During my research, I lived in Raven Rock for almost 3 years, and I got to know many of my fellow Dunmer who call Raven Rock their home. I hope that my readers will appreciate the amount of fortitude and perseverance that it must take to endure life in such an inhospitable and untamed land. All was going well in Raven Rock until 95 of the Fourth Era, when an attempt on Laeral's life was made without warning. Fortunately, the attack was unsuccessful thanks to the prowess of the Redoran Guard. Under questioning by Captain Modin Veleth, the assassin was revealed to be Villar Ulen of House Hlalu. House Hlalu had been at odds with House Redoran for years following their removal from the Council of Great Houses. The Hlalu believed that House Redoran was instrumental in this reorganization and have held a grudge ever since. Their attempt on Laeral's life was meant to send a message to the Council that House Redoran was not as mighty as they purported to be, and that they were truly vulnerable and weak. The Redoran Guard investigated further and discovered that Villar had been organizing a coup in Raven Rock in an attempt to fully wrest control of the island from Laeral's grasp. Villar and his conspirators were executed, and the coup was quelled. Several recent events have served to solidify the Dunmer people's respect for Laeral Morvain. In 130 of the Fourth Era, the bulwark began to show its age and threatened to crumble. The councillor elected to use the bulk of his personal fortune to have it repaired. In 150 of the Fourth Era, a small force of Argonians landed on Solstheim with the intent of wreaking havoc on the island, and Councillor Morvain led the charge against them personally. And in 170 of the Fourth Era, when the ebony mine finally began to dry up, he drained the remainder of his coffers, keeping the people fed. By 181 of the Fourth Era, the mine's ebony veins were completely exhausted. Laeral ordered the mine to be shut down, and Raven Rock turned to hunting and fishing for its trade. A few Dunmer families departed Solstheim and returned to the mainland, but most stayed behind. At present, Laeral Morvain is still the ruler of Raven Rock. The Redoran Guard continues to maintain order within the town and the surrounding area, keeping Raven Rock's residents safe and in line. If ever so much as a rumor of dissent reaches Laeral's ears, he has it quashed immediately. He's well aware that there may be a few Hlalu loyalists still present among her population that would like to see him dead. The future may appear bleak for Raven Rock, but the spirit of its inhabitants will never be broken.